Revelation 2264. From the 16th of March 1942. Consciously lived Earth life. Earthly life has to be lived consciously, that is, the human being has to recognize a purpose in his earthly change and seek to fulfill this purpose and reach his goal. The knowledge of the meaning and purpose of earthly life will now determine his life. If he is willing to reach the right goal, then he will live his life consciously. No human being is deprived of this knowledge, for even if he does not receive corresponding information about it from fellow human beings who teach him, their thoughts will be directed towards it by spiritual beings, so that every human being will once ask himself the question about the actual purpose of his earthly life, and this question will be answered mentally. Whether he now acknowledges this answer depends on his will for what is right and true. The rightly acting and thinking man does not resist to accept these mental indications, and therefore he will now also make rapid progress in his knowledge either through further mental instructions or mental exchange with people who are of the same mind, or through opposing views challenge his expressions of opinion and strengthen him in his own views. And thus faith will come alive in him, because he will now inevitably reflect on the essence of the eternal deity, who has given the human being an earthly task, who has placed him as the center of creation in the universe and thereby connected a specific purpose. Thus the human being seeks to fathom the deity. And God also draws near to such seekers. And again the answer is given to him. And thus his knowledge increases, for God teaches him himself because he instructs everyone who wants to recognize him. The human being will live his earthly life consciously when he deals with spiritual problems. On the other hand, anyone who only desires the world and only strives for earthly goods will live his life without questioning his purpose and goal. And his life is lived in vain, for he does not mature in spirit, he remains imperfect as long as he does not seek the connection, which he only establishes when he mentally occupies himself with questions about the eternal deity. Only then does he work on himself. For he who seeks to recognize God also recognizes his own inadequacy and seeks to change. And this searching and working on oneself is a consciously lived earthly existence which earns the soul the degree of maturity which is the purpose and goal of earthly life. Amen.